Hey guys, it's Tyler here. Got the old Kubota B2650 here. Got some hours on it, so getting ready to do a little service work on it. So I figured I'd give you guys a quick rundown on what I'm doing here. So I usually start with greasing the machine. I like to take a paper towel and wipe off all the grease zerks, and that way, take some of the the dirt that you're gonna get into those grease fittings out of there. So wipe those off. You get on, I kind of start at the top. I raise this thing up in the air on this loader. Makes it a little bit easier to grease. So I start there, kind of work my way back. Then I kind of drop it down. So some of these fittings, like you'll see in this one here, when this is in the up position, you can't really get to that. So like I said, using that, buy a decent grease. I don't like to use cheap grease. Like I said, it's a couple dollars in the grand scheme of things. So you might as well just use a good grease. So we're going to start by changing some oil here. Woo! Look at that, looking good here. Got some. We did a little brush hogging a couple weeks ago, so as you can see, I want to get that stuff out of there before it starts going any further back and getting stuck on the radiator. So we'll clean that out here in a second. Go ahead and pull this screen on here. It's pretty easy. You just kind of slide her up. I'm gonna try to do it gently so I don't drop a bunch of shit down in there. Pardon my language. We're gonna go clean that back in there once. Just kind of glide it up. Like I said, nice little pre-filter element to keep all the crap out of there. Coolant bottle, Vegas bottle's pretty good there. That's good, full fluid. So, as you can see, our oil filter is located right here on this bad boy. So we'll just use a filter wrench and crank that loose. These are a little goofy, the way this front drive shaft goes in there. Let me see if I can get the camera to light up a little bit there. But, okay, so this thing looks a little goofy. So this drive shaft comes through here, so they split this pan. So you gotta drain this one and this one. So grab you a 17 millimeter. Sorry for the dogs, they like to bark for whatever freaking reason. So we're gonna go ahead and loosen these up and see, drain this oil out here. These copper sealing washers, you kind of stick up there when you first change that, and they will fall in that pan. So you wanna make sure you get them back on there. Otherwise you're just asking for freaking problems. Some leaks, all that fun stuff. The last thing you want to do is cause an engine failure. I vacuum a lot too, so I actually pulled the oil cap off of this thing on the valve cover. And then obviously you can see now she's really coming out. She's done draining, so we're going to go ahead and stick our 2 bolts back up in that pan. Alright, so we got our new filter on. Put a little oil on the top of the sealing ring, so we'll crank this down. This was kind of tricky, so this coolant hose runs right next to this thing. You can kind of see it. So you want to make sure you get that up there and kind of start to push that out of your way for a second and thread it up there. And, obviously hand tight. And down there, kind of use a little brake cleaner, spray that off. That way, when you're running this thing a little bit later, if you got a leak, you can obviously freaking see it. So, got me a little oil here. Going to top her off and then check the oil level and run it. And we'll see what happens here. Those other, right there. Just has a regular end on it. So you just want to fill it up, touch it to the top of that stabilizer, the second dot there for top full mark. I'm going to pull the air cleaner off here too and check that. See what we got going on here. Could be a little dirty. Oh yeah, probably need to be changed here. Change that out. Well, there she is. Back up and running. I'm always posting something different, so if you guys would, just like and subscribe. If you guys want to know anything about the tractor, if you guys got anything you want to say about it, just let me know. I'm always going back and forth on YouTube, so be in mind. Thanks, guys.